So I guess I'm clickbait now. Captain Clickbait here for the locker room. Let's just get right into it. So I made a video early today about Alex DeBrincat and, him moving on from the Ottawa Senators to the Detroit Red Wings. And it seemed like when an article came out that I did link down below in the description and even had mentioned that he didn't like his situation in Ottawa, I guess due to not to being the number one. I got a few comments that I'm fine with, certain comments, but when it goes to a disrespectful manner, I'm just gonna be like, all right, you're out of here. I'm not gonna deal with someone insulting me personally. It's like it's a YouTube hockey video, bud. I'm giving you what I think of this article, I thought, in the situation. When I make videos overall, I just tend to be as even keel as I possibly can, and just be like, hey, well, like if this is indeed true, this isn't necessarily the greatest look. And then I went into their personal statistics and like the production that you saw from Brady Tkachuk and Alex DeBrincat. And, I saw a comment like, oh, clickbait hockey, clickbait title, which I kind of have to laugh at in some regards because it's like these people don't know how YouTube works. And when I make videos, I'm very informative within the video. And if I feel like I'm not 100% sure, I'll even mention it. That's why I said in that DeBrincat video, if this report is indeed true, and it was reported on a hockey website, and DeBrincat did get moved after one season. I know he was an RFA, ended up getting dealt, but didn't want to go back, it looks like, with the Senators. Couldn't come to terms with the deal. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think some people confuse that video like, oh, I'm saying he hates Brady Tkachuk and Tim's. No, he hated the situation he's in. If that report's true, he hated being on the Ottawa Senators due to the situation he was in. Not saying he hates the people. Not saying he even hates the manager. He just hated that situation. He hated being on the Ottawa Senators. I don't think that's really much of a stretch to say. And it really had me thinking. I'm like, let me go into my catalog and stuff like that. Like, am I the only guy that does this? Am I the only guy that really will have these type of conversations? Now, obviously, I'm on my own personal YouTube channel, and obviously, the I'm getting frustrated if you watch that video, that was me because videos kept getting blocked for the past 2 weeks that I've made because I was using too many clips. But, I'm doing season previews, potential trades, talking about individual players just randomly with Carter Hart. Now, admittedly, the timing of the video wasn't that great since more reports have come out, but hey, either nor they're there. But, doing top 5 centers, having a little bit more, difficult conversation. Just here on this channel, I'm not afraid to have the difficult conversation. And talking, and this was another video some people that didn't even watch, like a good friend of mine, Fajardo, really close friends with, best friends with. He's from Ecuador, came over, learned hockey in high school, and we had a good conversation about some of the difficult financial burdens when it comes to the sport of hockey. I could go on and on about the channel and, overall what I tend to do. It's just I like to have a thorough conversation. And if I'm not 100% sure on the report, I'll always mention that in the video, which I did in the DeBrincat video, to be fair. And it had me thinking, like, well, you're calling me clickbait, but I'm not the only guy who's doing this. I mean, to be very fair, this is just a common format in hockey YouTube. It just is. And I make sure to avoid anything that's misleading. Talking about this would be a great trade. The DeBrincat hated being on Senators. I'm not trying to mislead you. Even in the initial few seconds in the video, I'm giving you the context of that. I'm not trying to spread false narratives. And I'm going to bring up a few YouTube channels that I feel like I have to for comparison's sake. Because it seems like to some people it's a massive issue because I'm a small content creator. I've only been doing this for about a year, right? I'm a small content creator, so some people like to take the moral high ground. Like, you got to be better than them, you got to be better than this. But every channel titles their videos in a certain format so they can get views, so they can get likes, so they can get engagements. Now, this isn't my career. This isn't my job, right? I enjoy doing the videos. I mean, maybe somewhere down the road. I like doing the season previews. I like going and having more in-depth conversations. I like having the podcast that me and Fajardo have. I think they're really fun, and just talking hockey overall is fun. But I want to make it clear here. These YouTube channels I'm bringing up, this is not a slight against them. It's not an insult against them. I'm just kind of clearing the point, or making the point, I should say, I'm not the only guy who does this. And to be very fair to myself, I don't even do it that frequently. But when I look at a guy, and this isn't a slight towards them in any manner, Johnny Hockey, for example, right? Great hockey, content creator, almost 40,000 subscribers. Hopefully he hits 40 in the next week or so. But all his videos are around kind of the same format. Same way, same situation, right? This is aging horribly. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. You want to entice the person to watch the video. You want them to click on that. That's why I never understood the negativity when it came to clickbait. I mean, even outside the hockey realm, like Mr. Beast videos, right? The biggest YouTuber in the world. His stuff is quote unquote clickbait because you want people to click on it. When you click on the video and he has a conversation, it's informative and it's a very good video. Another guy that I followed for a very long time, and like I'll reiterate, no hate towards these guys, Lego Rocks. He's made a lot of great videos. He'll do some of those trades. He'll go back, like what ifs. He'll do rumors like Rangers trading Panarin soon, ? Like amazing thumbnails. I gotta say, Lego Rocks makes amazing thumbnails, and his videos are really put together well. You have to structure your titles in a certain way to get clicks. You just do. Because a lot of this great content would just be lost in the algorithm. If I just put Alex DeBrincat, Senators, and then that's it, nothing's happening there with that video. Most likely not much clicks, not much likes. I would argue like the Rangers training Artemi Panarin, that wouldn't have 1K views. And one of the guys that has really come onto the scene this past year as well as Eck. And he had a bigger YouTube channel, Eck is X-Men's Ladder, butchering the name of it. It was more Star Wars based, if I'm correct. Same format. One of the greatest hockey chirps ever. I don't know how to feel about this news. These Bedard clips are insane. She's going to be great. Things like that. So I ask you, is your problem with me doing it just me? Or do you have a problem with every single one of these great content creators that make really thought-provoking content? I think at the end of the day, we all like talking hockey. We all like having that conversation. We do. Hockey's one of the best games in the world. And I will stand on that. If I'm making a video, to reiterate this, if I'm making a video, DeBrincat hated being on the Ottawa Senators. I'll even click on the damn video itself. Or to certain. And I'm linking down below here. The actual article. Where it came from. Where it says, DeBrincat was unhappy being behind Tkachuk in the Sens lineup. And then going into the quote, sharing them on the screen. Am I making a fake narrative? Am I creating that false narrative? And that was one comment from a guy that was just kind of unhinged, saying I'm creating these false narratives and stuff like that. Where with the score, they're the one who has the article. And I'm like, hey, if this is indeed true, that's not the greatest look for DeBrincat. Like, he's a phenomenal goal scorer. Scored 40 twice. He was at 27 last season. I think he can get back to that 35-plus range, especially with Larkin down the middle in Detroit. But I don't like to say that I'm creating a narrative that was created by an article on a hockey website is a little bit baffling. You know, this is a sports website, obviously. But I just thought that was kind of foolish. You know, I could understand someone not liking the content, and that's fine. If you don't like it, don't click on it, right? Or if you don't like it, drop a dislike. It is what it is, right? I have a lot of things on my channel that aren't just like quick few-minute videos. I mean, if you want to watch more in-depth videos, you know, the season previews go like 13-plus minutes, 16, 18 minutes some. I have good conversations with Fajardo about more difficult conversations. 36 minutes. 36 minutes on that subject. where we kind of have real pointed conversation. You want top fives. I'm currently working on top five wingers in the NHL. I don't know if I'm going to do right wing and left wing or just combine them all together. I'm thinking about doing a top 10 of wingers all combined. But, you know, I'm trying to do what I can to make the most engaging content possible. You know, the season previews, some go really well, view-wise, like the Maple Leafs, for whatever reason, the last day have taken off. Pittsburgh did well. Florida Panthers, they only got 78 views, but that's fine. Talked about Jake DeBrusk. You know, for me, when it kind of comes to content, I just want to make what I want to make. I'm not like some channels on the platform where I just make one form and that's it. I like having different various styles of format I like to do. I like to include clips. Sometimes I just be on camera like this, talking with you, having an actual thorough conversation so you can kind of connect with me on a more personal level. I mean, you know, I think I'd be remiss. I mean, this guy right here, the hockey guy, is one of my biggest inspirations on this platform because this guy just talks hockey, has a lot of thorough conversations, and he'll talk about whatever. He'll talk about whatever, and it will be really good. He'll talk about his collections, jersey, talk about Forsberg. Like he releases so much content, and I have such a high respect for the hockey guy because that's so difficult. I know he does this as a full-time job. You're like, oh, well, that can't be difficult making videos. It is. I mean, sitting there thinking like, like what 3-4 videos do I need to make today to make sure I'm making a certain amount of money a day so I stay profitable? The hockey guy to me is a fantastic YouTuber. Now, the only one that I would say probably stays away from the clickbait, quote-unquote, titles that you talk about would probably be the hockey guy. You know, if you want to have that argument, if down below in the comment section, absolutely. But he has some titles like, hey, you know, relatively short to the point that is kind of clickbait in nature, makes you want to click on it. I'm not saying I'm to the caliber of the hockey guy. He's got 189,000 subscribers. I have like a little over 4,000. New channel, just getting around the block. And I understand there's different levels to this. But I wanted to just have a thorough conversation about clickbaiting and kind of just the weird stereotypes that comes with that. You know, I would understand if I made a DeBrincat video completely out of thin air, with no article, no nothing. And I started the video just saying this is absolute fact, there's no doubt here, instead of saying, well, if this is indeed true, right? If I get rid of all the qualifiers that I usually do in a video to make sure that I'm 100% transparent so people know that, hey, this is the article, or hey, this might or might not be true, but we're going on the realm. If this isn't true, I can understand people's grievances. But to complain about a clickbait, to complain about a video being clickbait to me makes no sense, because every single person that makes videos on this platform tries to title their video in a certain way to make people click on it. That's why you make YouTube videos. The one thing that one individual says, oh, you know, you got to be better than this, and you got to be better. Like, dude, better than who? I'm not going to go on some moral grandstanding things like, I don't make videos like this. I don't make videos like this. I make the best videos I possibly can. I try to bring 100% truth and facts. And when I'm not sure of the reporting, I'll even mention in the video, like, if this is indeed true, and have qualifiers in there saying there's an article down below to go further in discussion about it, that is when that's me doing my due diligence. I'm completely fine if you don't enjoy the videos. That's fine. Not everyone's going to like every single take I have, and that's fair. That's completely fair. Heck, I'm a Bruins fan, and some people got upset with me kind of mentioning some of the lack of center depth with the Boston Bruins. But I try to point out the good and the bad of even my favorite teams, right? And I try to be as transparent as I possibly can. I think overall, everyone tries to make their videos, quote unquote, clickbait, excuse me, because that's what you want people to do is click on it. Some videos will hit, some videos won't hit. There's a lot of competition on YouTube. I have a lot of fun making these videos. If you don't like the clickbaity, quote-unquote stuff, you know, you don't have to watch it, and that's fine. But to go with personal insults and all this crazy stuff, like, it's really not that deep. But, I don't know. I just think I think we like to, I think some people like to shame others and just down other people and take all the context out of the situation instead of just like digesting the information and watching the video and giving it a chance. Like there's a lot of creators that I watch that I'll see that on their videos. It's like, oh, well, this clickbait. I'm like, well, no shit. Who's not going to want people to click on their videos? That's just kind of my perspective on it. I've always been 100% honest. I've always been 100% transparent on this channel. And I'll stay doing that. I don't think it's much of a stretch to say he's unhappy with his first line center. He hated being on the Thunders last season. Not saying he hates Brady Tkachuk. Not saying he hated any of his teammates. Not saying he hates Stützle. He hated the situation. If he didn't hate it, if he liked it, even if he was just moderately disgruntled, wouldn't he have tried to stay and maybe give it another shot? No, he wanted out. Some people point out, hey, he's got family near Detroit, and that's another valid conversation as well. But he hated being in Ottawa. I'm not saying Ottawa's not a great place. A lot of great things out. I've been to Ottawa. I think it's beautiful up there, personally. But some people might just not like the situation. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Just want to have this conversation. It's a little bit different on this channel. But let me know your thoughts down below. Captain Clickbait here. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, shit.